ever sat down to watch an episode of Steven Universe and thought, man, I would love this way more if they were beating and abusing and starving the gems, and also Steven was selling amethyst to Mayor Dewey, pimping her out, so to speak. Yeah, so that's what this person on TikTok is doing. They're writing a little fan fiction. It's Pimp Lincoln. I'm talking about Pimp Lincoln today. In case you don't know who Pimp Lincoln is, here's Pimp Lincoln in all of his glory. Look at him go. Holy fart. That's Pimp Lincoln for you. So I went out of my way to watch 2 episodes from each season of the Loudhouse just to kind of get a gauge on the characters from like the Pimp Lincoln lore to see if it matches. Because guess what? It fucking doesn't. It fucking doesn't. It doesn't match up. Anyways, I'm going to tell you guys the characters just so you can also get a gauge on because I'm going to be just saying their names throughout the video. So Lori is 17. She's the oldest daughter. People think she's bossy and people don't like her for some reason. But you know who does? Me. Lori serves cunt, bitch. You wouldn't get it. Then we have Lenny Loud. She's 16. She's fashionista girly pop. And then we have Luna. She's 15. She's the musician. She's also gay. Then we have Luann, she's 14, she's the comedian. She would have really liked Amina. We have Lynn Loud Jr. because Lynn Loud is their father's name. She's 13 and she's the sporty one. We have Lincoln, he is a boy and he is the pimp. We have Lucy Loud, she's 8, she's goth and she likes poetry. We have Lana, who's one of the twins. She's like the tomboyish one. She likes working with shit. She's like a little mechanic. She's not the cunt. We have Lola Loud, who's also 6, and she's the other twin. She is the pageant queen. She is the girly pop twin. If she would have danced, if she was a little dancey dancer, she would have been on Dance Moms. We have Lisa. She's 4. She's the smart one. She's actually. We have Lily Loud. She's 1. She's the baby. Let's go. And now we're going to go through every single season of the Loudhouse just to try and gauge if the Pimp Lincoln lore makes sense. Because it doesn't, and you're going to fucking like it. So the first episode of the Loudhouse premiered in America on May 2nd, 2016, with 2 episodes called Left in the Dark and Get the Message. The season introduced Lincoln, and he's the middle child. He's also the only boy. Okay, first of all, too many fucking kids. This ain't cheaper by the dozen, okay? You need to either twist your balls, get your tubes tied, or something, because they are creating an army of quirked up white children. I also don't understand, how do they afford all these children in this economy? I paid $5.62 for a cheesy Gordy to crunch the other day. Can you imagine the Loud family going to fucking Taco Bell? That's a fan fiction. I know I read that when I was fucking 16, except it was Dan and Phil. And there was milk involved. There's always milk involved. We're moving on. So Left in the Dark, it's about, like, Lincoln wanted to watch his favorite show on the family TV, but his sisters keep being annoying and they're getting in the way, and then the power goes out, and then they get too scared to go to the basement because it's scary and it's spooky. Alright, and then the other episode that I'm going to be doing is A Tale of Two Tables. Lincoln wants to prove that he's a grown-up by sitting at the adult table during family dinner. The conversations aren't skibbity toilet epic swag style like a boss, so he wants to move back to the kids' table, which understandably. So the character development in this season is Lincoln really amplified his problem-solving skills and has to work with the different personalities of all of his sisters because they're all quirked up, silly white girls who slay. He gets to appreciate his childhood and continue to bond with his younger siblings. Adulthood actually sucks. We be talking about the stock market and shit at the adult table. Sometimes we talk about how your Uncle James is addicted to Afrin and he still sleeps behind a Walmart in a tent and he needs a new tent. We don't get to talk about Corey Kenshin at the adult table. I'm not allowed to talk about Sonic the Hedgehog at the adult table. Season 2 aired from 2016 to 2017. And we got a Christmas episode! The Christmas episode is 11 Louds a Leapin'. Lincoln discovers that his neighbor is old and sad and alone on Christmas after breaking into his house. So his family's like, oh my god, we need to be together and be so grateful for what we have because this old man is sad and alone next door. So they all go carol at his house, and they're like, fa la 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 la, you are poor, here is a bus card. Go see your family, brokey. That's exactly what they do. They go, here's your fucking bus card, brokey. You ain't gonna take a Uber. This is honestly my favorite episode from the whole series. It's called L is for Love. There was a note that comes up in their house, and everyone's like, oh, someone has a secret admirer. But we find out that Luna has a crush on Sam. Who's Sam? Girl. We got the gay episode, ladies and gentlemen. This is the start of showing Luna's storyline and showing Sam as her love interest. It was really cute, and I really liked this episode. The character development from these episodes, Luna is gay, and that's pretty cool. And then, like, a theme of community, like Lincoln taking the incentive to include other people in their celebrations. It humanizes their character because, like, his character in the series thus far is just like, oh my god, he's so grumpy and fucking old. And now he's alone, too, and he's broke. Fuck this guy, dude. Season 3, that's a 2. Season 3 came out in 2018. Roadie to Nowhere is about Luna contemplating her future as a musician and her family wanting to support her dreams. Her family's like, oh my god, you're so good at music. This is your assigned personality trait. And she's like, oh my god, I love music. So Grown Out is a really good episode. It's where Lola enters a beauty pageant and she's really, really afraid to lose because it's like not on a level she's ever performed before. And Lori is with her. And so Lola like pretends to be sick so she doesn't have to be in the beauty pageant. And then Lori's just like, you're going to miss out on experiences. And she's like, you're so right. And then she loses. But she had fun. The character development in this episode is Luna became more confident in her music abilities, and Lola's was honestly, her character is portrayed to be a spoiled fucking rotten little brat, and in this episode it really humanizes her, and she gains a lot of like depth and vulnerability in her character, and it really shows that she has a desire for self-improvement. Season 4 is 2019 to 2020. This is the Casa Grande season, and Casa Grande's can be a whole other fucking video. I don't have an issue with the Casa Grandes. I personally think they're cute, but we're not talking about the Casa Grandes. We gotta get back to Pimp Lincoln. I'm trying to get the fuck through this, okay? Okay, the 2 episodes I decided to focus on were Can't Hardly Wait and Singled Out. Can't Hardly Wait, Lori is preparing for college and her family is like, oh my god, things are gonna change and we're gonna grow apart because you're leaving. So you need to come work at the restaurant. They own a restaurant. No shit, they make money. They own a restaurant. Like a fancy schmancy fucking restaurant. I'm popping my shoulder out. Singled Out is a Lynn Jr. episode. So she is on a roller derby team with a bunch of girls, and all the other girls get boyfriends. And she's like, fuck, I gotta get a boyfriend to fit in. Not because she wants a boyfriend, she wants to do it to fit in. And I know what you are. But it turns out she's too slay, and the boys are intimidated by her athletic prowess. So there's this dude she does end up dating, but she just was not rocking with it. He's like, you want to hold hands? And she's like, fuck no, dude. Ew. What the fuck? Don't touch me. So she wasn't really rocking with him. So she learned that she could have more fun doing her thing by herself. The character development from these episodes was Lori focuses on her independence and prepares for life in college by herself and having to maintain the relationships that come with that. And Lynn Jr., it really expands on her character and it emphasizes the importance of self-discovery and trying new things. That new thing being giving men your time and attention, which is obviously never the right move. Good on you, Lynn Jr. Next season. Season 5 is 2020 to 2021. This is the season where Lori moves out to go to college. So the 2 episodes I chose for this season was Schooled and Ghosted. Schooled is about Lincoln struggling to fit in middle school, and Lori is adjusting to life in her college dorm. So Lincoln has extra responsibilities as well as the rest of the family, and Lori has to juggle schoolwork, and it's like they're comparing the 2 of them. Ghosted is about the whole family staying overnight in a bed and breakfast. They got money. They rent out the whole bed and breakfast. This is before Airbnb. This wasn't a fucking Airbnb. They went to some random town on a golf course. They got money. So the bed and breakfast is haunted, so obviously Lucy is on the case. And meanwhile, their dad and Lori keep trying to sneak out to play golf because they got money and they can play golf. I know she don't got a full ride scholarship. They're paying that shit out of pocket, out of state. She plays golf as a hobby. I know she has money. Get away from me. Oh my god. So Lucy like Ghost and Lori like golf. So both of them together defeat the ghost. So the fucking character development for these 2 episodes is Lincoln matures because he went to middle school and everyone's trying to support each other because Lori's not living at home anymore. And Lucy shows that she has some leadership because she helps their siblings overcome their fears, and golf. Okay, season 6 happens in 2022, and the 2 episodes that I chose are Present Danger and Lights, Camera, Nuclear Reaction. Present Danger, Lincoln throws a detective-themed birthday party. Lights, Camera, Nuclear Reaction is about Lincoln and Clyde making a sci-fi movie. There's multiple episodes that are like this, where they're making a movie, and then Luann is like, I want to be part of the movie, please. She's constantly like method acting and improvising scenes and setting up pranks that don't fit with the movie's tone, so they keep getting pissed off with her. The character development for these episodes was Lincoln showing his leadership, which pimps are kind of like leaders, if you think about it. And then Luann shows her commitment and talent, and Lincoln and Clyde learn to embrace collaboration and find value in different perspectives, even if they're a little fucking annoying. Season 7, which is 2023, I chose Out of Step and Fashion No Show. Out of Step is a Clyde episode. Lil Bro loves to tap dance. That's the episode. He is embarrassed, though. He's like, I'm a little tap dancer and I'm embarrassed of it. Why that sounds like that guy who does the Deku voice. Kachan, I love tap dancing. It's just like our tongues in our mouth, going around.
Kachan,
shut the fuck
you were
up.
5.
Kachan. Fashion No Show is a Lenny episode, and she shows off her fashion designs at a local show, but she is filled with self-doubt and fears of judgment of others. But her outfits were cunty, and she should have known it. So the character development for these episodes was Clyde learning to embrace his interests despite judgment from others. Lincoln also supports him unconditionally. Amen. Moving on. Lenny develops as a designer, showing her creative side and how determined she is to show her true potential. Bada bing, bada fucking boom. Season 8, 2024. The 2 episodes I chose were Bringing Down the House and Road Trip. I don't particularly remember this episode very much, if I'm being completely honest with you.
No, that's wrong.
What the fuck? So the character development was Lincoln is a coordinator and he's in charge again. Oh my god, stop putting this little boy in charge. He's gonna start doing something we don't like, and it's not gonna go according to plan. His siblings also learn to collaborate and work with each other and value their contributions, reinforcing their bond as a family. Bitch, why'd I write it like this? The Louds show that they will do anything to support Luna and her passions and show her love. Season 9, this is the last fucking season. So season 9 is still currently airing, so I only did 1 episode, and I did Crystal Ball, and don't get mad at me! Why are you booing me? Am I Nickelodeon? Am I a Nickelodeon executive? The only episode I could find was Crystal Ballin'. Don't slime me. Don't get mad at me because I can't find all the fucking episodes. So Crystal Ballin' is about Lynn being convinced that a fortune teller making a prediction about her future is real, so she keeps trying to change her behaviors because of her superstitions. This episode honestly shows a lot of vulnerability from Lynn and what lengths she will go to be able to control the situation around her. She also learns that her future is shaped by her own personal choices and not predictions from a random fucking lady. Honestly, I thought the show was really cute. I didn't really have a whole lot of issues with it. It is for children. Anyways, we're going to talk about Pimp Lincoln now. The first time that the user swag.hot ever posted Pimp Lincoln was on November 30th, 2024. It was on like a slideshow that had art from the other account that posts art constantly called Actually Not 500. Also on this slideshow had the first ever art that we know of pimped out Lori Loud. This is the beginning of the timeline. This is also when they first started tagging Actually Not 500, both collaborating on Pimp Lincoln content. These are not the same people. You can try and convince me all you want, but their art styles are different, and also they have different ways and mannerisms of speaking, so I don't think they're the same people. While they post the exact same content, even before they started posting the Pimp Lincoln AU, Swag Does Hot was a fan of a fan fiction based around Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, which was written by Actually Not 500, and this fanfiction is not posted anywhere on the internet, meaning they are both close friends, and I know they're both close friends because I asked. I'm fairly certain that these are teenagers, so you gotta take a lot of this with a grain of salt, but also they are old enough to fucking know better. Believe me, I tried to find the fan fiction that actually Not 500 is written because a lot of the posts on both of their account are fucking freaky. Why the notepad doing that? Pretty much all their previous content was Roblox and Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. And all the content that was previously posted on the accounts wasn't really giving, like, I'm gonna try and be a freak to try and get this to blow up. It was very much like, I gave my 12-year-old a TikTok account and they're posting whatever they want, you know? They were posting freaky shit a few months ago, but nothing to this extent. So let's just get into the Pimp Lincoln lore that we have thus far. So the Loud parents die, and before they passed, they spent all of their money gambling, so now they're poor, and then they die. So Lincoln brings all of his sisters into a room and explains to them that he got involved in a lucrative business practice, and that they need to all be a part of it to get out of poverty. Lincoln slams his hands on the table, screaming, "Are you willing to do whatever it takes for this family?" All of his sisters are huddling around and they're shocked, and Lori says, "Yes, of course." And then Lincoln looks at them and says, "Then call me Pimp Lincoln." And everyone's like, "Girl, what the fuck are you talking about?" Then he explains that they're gonna lose the house if they don't take action and start making money. So Luna states that they're going to lose each other if something doesn't happen and something doesn't change. So then Lincoln says, "Shut up, bitch, don't speak unless you're spoken to. You call me Pimp Lincoln, and I'm calling you bitches." What the fuck are we talking about? Then goes on about everyone needing to get into shape. Lincoln already has a job for Lori, and then Lori starts crying about her boyfriend Bobby, which gets her slapped and called a bitch. Obviously. This happens quite frequently. It's like every other sentence someone is getting called a bitch and getting slapped. So he makes Lori change into something more revealing, and then Clyde, Lincoln's 11-year-old best friend, is the one who bought Lori for 2 hours. Lincoln daps him up, takes a wad of money. Why does an 11-year-old have that much money? Where are Clyde's parents? Lori is 17, almost 18 years old. You're like 3 times his height, double his size. Just kick him. Just kick him. This story doesn't fucking make sense. I don't know. I don't know how time works in this, because Lincoln, like, leaves his sisters in the house who have been starving for multiple days at this point. But Lincoln leaves his McDonald's order on the table, and we're gonna have a fucking McDonald's counter going, because McDonald's is a common theme in this for some reason. So Lincoln leaves to go get Lori. Lori comes back completely traumatized, and they walk in, and all the starving children are eating the food he left on the table. So obviously he starts beating them with a belt. Lincoln then talks about how he needs them to be starved to an ideal weight. Lori runs up to her room, so Lincoln goes up to Lori's room to check on her, and then he catches her video chatting her boyfriend Bobby, which obviously gets her beat with a beer in his hand. Now we're starting to get a little reminiscent of my childhood. That's not funny. That's not funny. That's not funny. That's not funny. It's a little funny. Lincoln then walks downstairs to the twins. They're complaining about all the bruises that are all over them, and Lola is complaining that she's never going to be able to win another pageant again because she's so ugly and covered in bruises. And then Luna's like, "Girl, that don't even matter anymore. You're not even allowed to do pageants anymore." Then Lisa hits them all with a, according to my calculations, if we leave, Lincoln's going to track us down and kill us. I'm sorry. And they all start crying really hard because they're children, and then Lincoln comes back into the room, and he's apologizing for hitting them so hard. And Pimp Lincoln is what we like to call in the business a male manipulator. He then is talking to the girls, saying that he has a job for them the next day. Like I said, I'm fairly certain this takes place over a couple weeks, but this is the order in which swag.hot has posted them. Before he leaves to take the twins to do their job, he gives everyone a set job in the house. So Lynn Jr. is to track all their weight gain and then discipline the girls when Lincoln isn't around. Lisa is accounting and money. Lenny, Lori, Luann, Luna, Lola, and Lana are being pimped. Lucy is on baby duty, but we find out right after he says that Lucy is on baby duty that the baby is dead. The baby starved to death in the corner and had flies all over her. So Lincoln made the girls dispose of the baby's body. And obviously, Lucy doesn't have a job anymore. So Lincoln said, oh, abortion. You're gonna do all the abortions. Which is why, in a bunch of the fucking art for this, Lucy always has a coat hanger on her. Abortions are also illegal in this AU. So Lincoln tells Lori and the twins to get in the car. Lori is driving, obviously, because she's one of the only ones with her license. And also, this is the the car? So the car that they're driving, remember how Lincoln just said they were in poverty? Well, they're driving a 1979 Cadillac Coupe de Ville with 13,299 miles on it, and it is called the Pimp Side Classic. Y'all fucking with the Pimp Side Classic? So Lincoln gives Lori the address to drive him and the twins to, and it leads to a dark alleyway, where he then instructed her to stay in the car and left with the twins. These are 8-year-old little girls. While they're waiting, someone emerges from the shadows in an alleyway. It's the fucking mayor of the town. It's Bud Grouse. It's the mayor of the town. Did I mention he was the fucking mayor of the town? Lincoln shakes his hand and says, you can have them for 2 hours tops. The babies? Lincoln leaves them there. Lincoln leaves them there. They go to McDonald's and Lincoln gets Lori a Big Mac, and then they go to the Casa Grande's house. Lincoln because he wants to see Ronnie, and Lori so she can see her boyfriend Bobby. When Ronnie opens the door, Lincoln hits her with a "what up, bitch?" and Ronnie goes, bah! Bah! She slaps him. A fucking men. So Lori goes upstairs with Bobby while Lincoln is downstairs with Ronnie, and Bobby's trying to convince Lori to tell him what the fuck is happening because she's skinny and completely beaten and she looks disheveled. And then obviously he gives her a quarter pounder from McDonald's. So Bobby's not letting her leave with Lincoln. And then Lincoln says, Lori, you're a traitor. You're putting the well-being of the family at stake. So obviously Lincoln kidnaps Ronnie, takes her back to the house, makes Lynn Jr. watch her, calls Lori up, and obviously Lori's not going to answer, so Bobby answers. And then Lincoln's like, I'm going to kill your sister unless you give me back my sister. And if you call the cops, I'm killing your sister. Fuck you. Yeah, that's what happened. So while Ronnie's tied up, Lincoln gets Lenny to drive him back to the alleyway, because it's been more than 2 hours at this point, to pick up the twins, who are crying and traumatized, and then they drive back home to devise a plan to get Lori back, and that is what we've got so far. Papa, me want more movie. Actually, don't. High-key, I kind of do. I want them to kill him. Even as I'm recording this, there are things being uploaded onto their TikTok, which I'll get into in a second. So I reached out to the creator of Pimp Lincoln to see if they'd answer any of my questions, and they did. Do you actually like the Loudhouse, or was this all just some inside joke that has gotten a bit out of hand? I haven't watched the Loudhouse since I was young. I just found it funny because the fandom of the Loudhouse is really weird. And one day my best friend, whom you know is actually not 500, said, wouldn't it be funny if Lincoln was a pimp? So I wrote the first chapter long before I posted it. I decided to post a little video for fun, the infamous nice rack Lori, not expecting it to go viral. And when it did, I just kept making more. In terms of lore, why wouldn't the Louds just work for the family restaurant even if they lost all their money? Especially considering Lori is the manager at the restaurant. And they said, I had no idea they had a restaurant, but let me put it this way. Would they rather have 2 teens in the house making minimum wage or all 10 sisters making hundreds of bucks? You know, they might be onto something here. Are you in the actually not 500 person different people? Are y'all IRLs or do you actually live together? And they said, me and actually not 500 don't live together. We are best friends and we hang out quite a bit. So I'm gonna presume that they go to school together. Yeah. For each character's role in the AU, were they created just because popularity and recognizability of the character? Or were there any standout moments in the show that led you to want them to have it worse than others? Why does bro hate Lori? The roles in the AU are pretty random. For Lori, she takes the main role because she is the oldest, making her the most morally acceptable to pimp out. For Lucy, in the original video, with the side-by-side comparisons with the audio deja vu, Lucy is randomly next to Lily. So in the next slide, I made her holding Lily because there's no room on the paper for Lily. So her being in charge of abortions stemmed from that and the comments that I get. Is there anything that's coming down the line that you would want to post or share with anyone? Another thing that will happen later in the lore is that the Loud's parents' death was at Clyde's hands. You remember Clyde from the beginning? Lincoln's best friend, the little 11-year-old with racks on racks to pay for bitches? He killed their fucking parents.
Clyde, do you read me?
He killed them to get closer to Lori, but he didn't know things would go this far. Anyway, my final words is I'd like to thank everyone for the support. All the comments, videos, and everything. They make me laugh, especially the hateful ones. I hope this cleared some things up. I do agree that this just went a little too far and that this wasn't planned at all whatsoever. The Loudhouse fanbase is already known for being inherently freaky, which I get. I was an Undertale fan from 2016 to 2018 in the AU trenches, and I like Danganronpa.
No, that's wrong.
I feel like now it's getting to a point where they are trying to top the last thing they did, make the next thing even more uncomfortable to try and push and push and push an engagement farm as much as they can. Anyways, I'm just waiting for them to start posting feet. So I hope you guys enjoyed me torturing myself for the past week and a half to get this out. I also posted twice within 2 months. Look at me fucking go, baby. But yeah, here's some of my favorite comments from their posts, and I hope thank you for watching, because I'm tired.
It would be so awesome.